So the Oscars happened last night, and I watched them, and I wasn't initially thinking of making a video about them, but a couple things interesting enough happened that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video on this complete train wreck of a show. There are mainly like 3 points I want to talk about. First, I'll get to the big thing with Will Smith. Then I'm going to talk about how actually terrible the actual show was, and how actually terrible this whole setup and all the whole thing was done. And then I'm going to complain about the best picture win because I'm also pretty annoyed about that. So yeah, I don't actually really want to do it in this order, but I got to talk about what people want me to talk about probably first. So yeah. So I have not seen this much attention around the Oscars in a while, and I guess it took Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in the face to get them, finally attention. But it happened, and the funny part about seeing this happen live is we didn't really see it happen live. All I saw was I saw Chris Rock make a kind of touchy joke about Jada Smith, and then the screen starts like glitching and it starts like looping, and then we see Will Smith sit down in his chair, and like you can see him mouth out, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And I was kind of like, okay, so he probably went up and hit Chris Rock. And I looked it up online. Yeah, I was right there. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I would normally talk about this if it wasn't so public and everybody was talking about it right now, because I think it's a I don't think it's as serious as a topic as some people are making it be. Now, like I think a lot of people are turning this into something that it shouldn't be, and trying to make this about one person being completely wrong for what they did. But like, truth be told, I don't really find either person in the situation to be that bad of a person. Because look at it from, Chris Rock's perspective. He's making a joke about Will Smith's wife, a pretty touchy joke, to be fair, but like, comedians aren't really supposed to be nice, and it's entertaining more for most people when they at least take jabs at the celebrities. I prefer that over the typical, copy and paste garbage comedy the Oscars usually do. But the joke is reasonably touchy, so I don't think Chris Rock is generally a terrible person for making the joke. But also, I'm not really upset with Will Smith for acting the way he did, because, I mean, come on, your wife gets insulted in front of millions of people, and this motherfucker just kind of laughs about it. I don't know, man. I don't see why Will Smith's anger here to just go up and slap him in the face is that unjustified. I do think that, to some degree, slapping someone in the face is kind of immature. But on the same level, I mean, arguably making fun of someone else's wife's, alopecia is kind of fucked up as well. So, like, I mean, I think cancel culture is trying to turn this into something it's not, and I don't really like it. I've seen a lot of people try and justify the idea that Will Smith is some kind of garbage, horrible person for this, when in reality, this isn't really that horrible of a thing to do. I mean, sure, slapping someone in the face is, assault, but I don't know. To some degree, this kind of thing isn't really on the same level of showing Will Smith as a bad person or having a bad character. It just comes off as him being pissed off at an insensitive joke. And on the same level, Chris Rock should be allowed to make jab jokes at celebrities. It seems fine to me. Chris Rock should make those jokes and be able to recognize, hey, I am going to suffer the consequences of this, and the consequences of it were being slapped in front of millions of people and it becoming a meme probably for the next few weeks. But hey, those are the consequences of making a touchy joke, I guess. I don't think either person should really be hurt or canceled over this, because I don't think either person really did anything that wrong. I mean, they arguably did things that were wrong, but in the end, I don't think either are bad people. And I also think Will Smith winning Best Actor was a very good pick. So Will Smith had a great night. He did. Especially with that Best Actor one. I was very happy with that. King Richard, who's incredible in it. It's really happy seeing Will Smith get his moment. Delivered a great speech there. Overall, this whole slapping thing, I don't think is as big of a deal as some people were making out to be. It is pretty entertaining, and it was the only entertaining moment of the entire night. But hey, it happened. And yeah, I'm praying for Chris Rock right now. And ups to Will Smith, I guess. These are both very great artists. They're both very respectable. So yeah. That's my take on that. I don't think either are all that bad of people, and I understand both sides of it. But now to the awards themselves and the actual show. There's not a ton of awards that were like given out that I was really all that annoyed with. I think I was really happy with the amount of awards Dune won. I mean, I feel like some of them could have been won by other people and other movies. But hey, I mean, Dune deserves it. It's a phenomenal film. It was personally my favorite Best Picture nomination. But I think my biggest issue with the entire show would have to be how insufferably unfunny this was. I can't remember. I didn't watch last year's, and I did watch the 2020 Oscars. I can't remember if that one was as painful as this one was, but oh my God, almost not a single funny joke was told the entire night. And it's crazy because I don't know if the Oscars, I don't know if the issue is they can't hire good people. I think the issue is that they are not willing to take risks with any jokes. Amy Schumer's there, and she's one of the least funny human beings, I think, to walk the planet. Not a single funny joke delivered by her, and pretty much any other person who stood up and gave their bits. They were all just embarrassingly terrible and cringy. It felt like high school sketches to some extent. It was just, oh God, it was embarrassing. And the reason is most likely because listen, if you got somebody like Ricky Gervais, I understand the controversy of his Golden Globe speech, but at least that was funny, and at least it was bold. These people are not willing to hire anybody bold to do any kind of opening speech. Like, let's get Amy Schumer because she's super tame and nice. These are the same guys that fired Kevin Hart over homophobic tweets that were like, what, 10 years ago? And I get the homophobic tweets. They were homophobic. But I'm 90% sure Kevin Hart would have been more entertaining than whatever host. I actually forgot the host of that year. I just remember hating it. Overall, the Oscars don't pick good comedians, which sucks because there are great comedians out there. The problem isn't with the actual comedy world and who they can hire. It's who they're willing to hire because they're soft and they don't want to have any kind of offensive comedy whatsoever. So fuck the Oscars for that. Generally speaking, as an actual entertainment show, it was very hard to get through this whole thing. I seriously wanted to turn it off at most moments. In fact, the minute Best Picture was announced, I turned it off. And there's another reason why I turned it off right when Best Picture was announced. But yeah, as an actual show, this was completely terrible. And it's shocking because the Oscars are arguably one of the biggest live television events. Not the Super Bowl, but there's a pretty big deal for most people. And yeah, they can't seem to be entertaining whatsoever. So yeah, this was not a very entertaining thing to watch, if I'll be honest. However, when we reached Best Picture, I was very annoyed because the Best Picture was awarded to Coda, one of my bottom 3 least favorite Best Picture nominations. And before I rant about this, I do want to say I do not dislike this film, and I would recommend it. It's a pretty nice, enjoyable family film. I'm just so disappointed in the fact that this is the pick. Like, of all 10 movies, there were at least 7 movies I would have rather seen win this award than Coda. And the main reason why is because Coda is not winning because they think it's the best film. Because I'm 90% sure these people are smart enough about film to know that there are much better films nominated. West Side Story, Dune, King Richard, Power of the Dog, Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza are all more entertaining, more well-directed, more well-written, more creative films. So why does this win? Well, it probably wins because they don't want to look, anti-deaf community or whatever. And listen, I'm fine. I like the representation at the Oscars. I'm fully fine with that. But I'm very sick of that being the dictation of what wins because it's no longer the Best Picture award. It's like Most Impactful Film award, which is not the same thing at all. Don't call it Best Picture if you're not going to give it to the Best Picture. I understand it's fully my opinion that Coda is one of the weaker Best Picture nominated films, but I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think most people agree with me there and find this pick kind of lame. It's not even like annoying or terrible. It's just kind of lame. And my least favorite aspect to it is this isn't a creative film, like to any degree. I like the aspect of the deaf family. I think that was a very well done plot line. I think they directed it super well. I liked that side to it. But that's the only side to this movie that's significant whatsoever. Anybody who's seen any coming of age film can predict every single scene in the entire movie. The directing is not original either. And part of the reason I think this also wins is because they're like, we want to represent independent films. Do you know how many better independent films came out this year that are not Coda? You can find better films that are independent. I get the idea of we want to award the underdog the award, which I like that idea. That's fine. But there are better underdogs to win this award. Films that genuinely took time to be creative and didn't just copy and paste the same musical coming-of-age story that hundreds of films have done in the past. There was even a better coming-of-age film nominated. Coda did not win for the reasoning that it is the best film there and the Oscars feel like it is the best film there. It did not win because it had the biggest impact. It most likely won because they feel bad. It kind of feels like a pity win to me. And it feels weird to me. It doesn't feel respectful to the actual topic. It feels like they're trying to suck up to it, to look good, to look like they're welcoming, when the Oscars is one of the least welcoming events that happens in the movie industry or the general entertainment industry. Stop pretending to be something you're not. You are not some kind of righteous group that's awarding the most impactful films and lifting up smaller groups. You're still a business that takes advantage of people and is extremely biased in your awards and barely even nominates the best films anymore. You're a mere shadow of what you used to be. Do they wonder why their ratings have gone down so damn much over the past couple of years? These past few Oscars have been some of the lowest performing Oscars ever. Do they understand the reasoning? Do they understand that this entire mentality they have of being woke is not helping them? Because it doesn't come off real. It comes off extremely fake. The entire award show comes off as one big show. And it does not come off as a genuine award show awarding the best films and the best talent in the industry. It is all biased business, and I am tired of it. I might not watch this award show next year just because of how insufferable it was this year. I might still watch all the Best Picture nominations just to see. And if the Best Picture nominations are good enough, I probably will watch it again, because in 2019, I watched the Oscars and it was really terrible, embarrassing show. And I was kind of like, I'm not watching this again. But then the next year they had such a good Best Picture nomination list that I was kind of like, okay, I kind of have to watch this. And then I enjoyed it that year. But this year was very insufferable. So I don't know. Maybe next year will be better, but I don't know. All I know is this. The Oscars, the only entertaining moment at this entire award show was not even planned, and it was literally somebody slapping a comedian.